Hi guys, how are we doing today? So a lot of people have been asking, how do we know when the government is going to call off this lockdown? Because clearly, we're all really getting tired of this consistent stay in the house policy that we're practicing right now. So the question is, what are the indicators? How do we know? Well, I did a little bit of introspection and I came up with 5 indicators to let us know when the government is going to call off this lockdown. And this is broken into 2 categories. There's the medical indicators and the economic indicators, right? The medical indicators makes up the first 2 and the economy makes the last 3. But before I get that out, I'd like to first of all just thank everyone who sent me a word or 2 of encouragement. To support what I've been doing since this season began. I'd like to really appreciate every one of y'all. And in case you want to reach me, please, you can so do on Twitter, Facebook, and or Instagram. All of that is at Nelson Deep Talks. Nelson Deep Talks. You can talk to me, and I'm sure we're going to have fun from there. Okay, so what is the first medical indicator to knowing when the government is going to call off the lockdown? Number 1 is when we begin to see a consistent decline in the number of positive cases across the country. That's a strong indicator. Now, first of all, it's not all the states in the country that has any case at all, but a place like Lagos, Abuja, and a few other states, we keep seeing increase in this thing almost every day. In fact, every day. So when we hit the point where, according to them, the graph begins to slope down, in other words, the number of positive cases begins to decline. That's a good indicator, which leads me to number 2 on the medical indicator, is the corresponding result of an increase in the number of released patients from the IDH centers, which simply means that the persons who were brought in who tested positive are now cured and they now test negative and are released. These are a pretty strong indicator that, we're going somewhere and life is going to get back to normal. And then on the economic part of this thing, what's the first indicator? Number 1, when the government realizes that the small palliatives they're giving to us, right, is no longer able to hold or sustain people back at home, which means an increase in hunger and crime, which, fun enough, is already happening in some parts of the country, like here in Lagos and in Ogun State, where reports of crimes, robbery is already on the increase, right? When the government realizes that, come on guys, this thing can hold no longer, they're going to get back to the drawing board and say, you know what? We need to look at this lockdown stuff again. Number 2 economic indicator for me is when small scale businesses, firms and companies with a sizable number of staffs are no longer able to sustain this work from home policy that we're practicing at the moment, which would inevitably lead to either loss of jobs or decline in business impact and productivity. That's a strong indication that the lockdown is going to be called off. And by the way, it's in some quarters this is already happening again, and it's a serious deal. It's a real serious thing, right? And number 3 for me, which I really pray we don't get to this point, is a state of social anarchy, in the sense that people in their large numbers would leave their homes and get out there to start their work or their business or whatever they do. It'll be a sense of if we die, we die, but we're no more staying at home because it's not getting funny or cute anymore, to be locked up indoors just because we're trying to do something. And so that's why we're asking and praying, for the government to be able to contain this virus as quickly as possible, right? And then that's why they're also asking us to comply in this few period of staying at home, so they're able to contain this thing to the barest minimum, so we don't get to that level where all of us say, what, we're getting out there. All right. So for me, these are the 5 indicators. When you begin to see this happen, then know that the lockdown is just about to be called off and life would get back to normal. Thank you very much for watching the video. I'd like to hear feedback from you, and please do share this to as many persons as possible as you can. You can reach me back with anything you want us to talk about. Anything at all. I'm open. I'm here for you. All right. Thank you. And you have an absolutely lovely day.